Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. As-salamu. I also want to talk this morning about the strike, the nurses. They said they have sat at home for too long. There's a flyer there. They have sat at home for too long. And they were so appalled that the President of the Republic did not mention youth unemployment in the country. Yesterday, I read something off the Facebook page of Oliver Bakavoma, or convener for Fix the Country. And he says 80% of our youth are unemployed. The Graduate Unemployed Nurses and Midwives Association, they have served notice that they are going on a demonstration today. They are at the Tamale Jubilee Park, 7 a.m. sharp. They are beginning to 12:30. And they say, clear and post us now. We are tired of sitting at home. Clear and post us now. We are tired of sitting at home. They are asking questions. They are not happy. They say, clear and post us now. We are tired of sitting at home. Now, Six, please take me to the State of the Nation address. You find President Akuffo wearing a nice suit, standing in front of that Kinte backdrop in Parliament. There was something that he said. Let's listen to the President.
Johnny's Bite.
Second Deputy Speaker, the veteran legislator, Honorable Alban Bagbin. I commend also the Majority Leader, my contemporary in this House, who can now put his extensive experience of Parliament to use as Leader of the House and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs. My compliments go to the new Minority Leader, Honorable Aruna Idrisu, who announced himself on the national stage when he came here in my last term in the House. It is clear that he has an important future in Ghanaian politics. I want to assure him and the leadership of the House on both sides that I will cooperate fully with Parliament to enhance the governance of our nation, to be able to do the business of Ghana effectively.
I will cooperate fully with the Parliament of Ghana to enhance the governance of our country. The President's own words. I will cooperate fully with the Parliament of Ghana to enhance the governance of our country. He said this in 2017. He's still in power. Now, how has the President cooperated fully in the interest of the governance of this country? Mind you, there are things that Parliament has raised questions about that the President didn't give a hoot about. He didn't care. For example, there are presently 3 bills before the President which he has refused to sign. And I told you that the President perhaps was refusing to sign those 3 bills from Parliament because he was trying to set a certain precedent to say that, oh, even the 3 that you brought earlier haven't signed it. So this new LGBTQIA plus bill that will be brought to me will also join the queue because there's a certain precedence. I told you that. Because the President's own comments from back in the day, it is bound to happen and all of that. Now is the moment. The die has been cast. Parliament has finished its work. The totality, or if you like, the large majority of Ghanaians are watching the President. So, Mr. President, this is your call. And I went back to the State of the Nation address because you were happy at the time. What he said before, he said he would work closely with Parliament, cooperate fully with Parliament in the interest of the governance of our country, was when he was thanking Parliament for speedily approving his ministers, many of whom messed up in their ministries and messed up the country. So he thanked Parliament for doing that for him speedily, and he was sure that they were going to even endorse the excess ministries that he created and brought, and Parliament did it. Today, Parliament is presenting to the President bills, private members' bills, in the interest of the country, and we are being told about financial implications. Now, the LGBT bill is before you. Family values, proper sexual relations, it's before you. Will the president sign or will he not sign? Will the buck stop with the president or will the buck keep rolling? Because the president said, oh, the buck stops with me. Will the buck stop with the president? Will he sign? Will he cooperate fully with Parliament? The bill is before you, Mr. President. Will you use your green pen? Will you sign? Oba sign, hello, sign. Mr. President, Oba sign, hello, sign. The ball is in your court. Oba sign, hello, sign. Ubetra, now won't throw, Mr. President. Emrena do. Don't do. Shall when you, Mr. President. Oba sign, and I won't sign. You said that you will work closely with Parliament, cooperate fully, and he's a lawyer, so he understands the weight of words. I will cooperate fully with Parliament.
Johnny's fight.
Will you sign? Will you not sign? I leave that to your good judgment, Mr. President, and to all the advisors who are around you who are paid with their taxpayers' money. Now, Mr. President, another interesting matter happened yesterday in Parliament. Speaking of cooperating fully with Parliament, the lights went off in all places in the country in Parliament. Watch.
Okay, so the 600. It's off. We just
okay, let's go top. She's on the top.
When I come.
People were stuck in the elevator in Parliament. Show me the chamber one more time. People were stuck in the elevator at Parliament.
Johnny's fight.
So embarrassing. This is the House of Legislature. This is where the people's representative go to work. The school children were there. And the whole House of Parliament had light off. Mr. President, what did you say earlier? That when the lights go on and come off and go off and come on, it's called Dumsor. Was that what you said, Mr. President? ECG has disconnected lights. And you know, Parliament is not a profit-making entity. So somebody has to authorize the payments to be done. Mr. President, how have you cooperated fully with Parliament to improve the governance of our country? Yesterday, the people went to work, and for the period that the lights were off, they did no work, but they will be paid with our monies, Mr. President. Mr. President, this is the most embarrassing spectacle that you can have, beyond having us the only president in the history of the Republic where a Chief Justice of the Republic openly demonstrates against you for touching her money without a permission. This is another embarrassing thing under you, Mr. President. On record, you are the only president in our history that a former Chief Justice goes to join and picket in front of the Finance Ministry and demonstrates against you and your government for touching her money. It is in history. Just like you said, the Hansard will capture you. History has captured you as the only president in our country's history who had a former Chief Justice say, lie, you won't touch my money. Mr. President, how have you cooperated with Parliament? Show the video again, please.
Johnny's fight.
Some people were stuck. People were stuck. Visitors, all of those people, they were stuck. They were stuck there. Now, the question I ask is, our friends who did Dumsor must stop. The beautiful Yvonne Nelson, the intelligent Van Vicker. Show me their Dumsor must stop. The brilliant Kofi Bentel. the DKB, my good friend and brother, all of those who did Dumsor must stop. Where are they? John, stop putting dust in our eyes. Dumsor must stop. There was a whole vigil. And there's a tall list, if you Swasniga, all of them. Have they not seen and heard that the lights are going on and off? Have they not noticed that it has become a daily routine? Have they not noticed that things are not the way it used to be? Have they not noticed that what Dr. Bawumia said, that the previous government must not be giving credit for solving Dumsor, that Dumsor is back? Or is it Dumsor? The Dumsor must stop a group of celebrities. Where are they? The Dumsor must stop celebrities. Where are they? There's a tall list of them. I don't have time to go through it, but you know them. Prince David Osei, Yvonne Nelson, Van Vicker, the musicians that joined, DKB, my own friend. Where are they? Kofi Bento, Imani Ghana. Kofi Bento says we should give Dr. Bawumia his own chance. Where are they? Are they still in this country? Are they still with us here? Or have they traveled? Ah, well. Now, yesterday, and for those of you who are worried, and sometimes we throw insults and shades, I want you to listen to the majority leader and also the member of parliament for the Futu constituency. He has some wise words for you. You listen to him.
So, as MPs, as ministers, as government officials, what it is for us is that we must start base. That is why I said your critique, the Johnny Hughes, his this bite is good for us. Because if people will listen in government, that then you begin to set up the what is really the case. Because it's not who you think you are as a leader, but what they think you are. So if the people think that you are not doing it right, your job is to situate it right and get it right. So as MPs, as ministers, as government officials, what it is for us is that we must start base. That is why I said your critique, the Johnny Hughes, his this bite is good for us. Because if people will listen in government, that then you begin to set up the what is really the case. Because it's not who you think you are as a leader, but what they think you are. So if the people think that you are not doing it right, your job is to situate it right and get it right.
That's the majority leader, MP for Futu, Alexander Kwame Nafenyo-Markin. And his position has not changed when I started Johnny's Bite. He said it is good for us. He wants us to focus on it and maybe listen, not send people to attack and insult. Because some of the things I say here are things that are properly and well researched, that hitherto you would never have known about. And then when you fix them, they call me on the sideline and say, oh, please talk about it too. We have fixed it, what you complain about. But when I start talking about them, they insult me first of all. They attack me and call me names. This morning, this is the majority leader. He says, we need to listen. So before you accept a contract to come and attack and insult me, listen to the leader. Before anybody pushes you to come say, because on our scorecard, I have the scorecard by the grace of God and with your help. The scorecard is scorecarding. So I ask, what is your scorecard? And speaking of scorecards, the National Ambulance Service, I don't think there's any proper leadership at the National Ambulance Service. I'm sorry to say this, but I have to say this. Show me the image, the National Ambulance Service, the video. Some time ago, we used the ambulance that we procured, and I remember very well that I had gone for Ghana's most beautiful finals at the Grand Arena. Then I was host of Ghana's Most Beautiful on TV3. And I had gone there and I seen the ambulances parked. And I became worried. So I started the Release the Ambulance campaign in this country. Those who remember, remember. And then we were told that, oh, there had to be some things that had to be fixed in it. In fact, when Orbit Eye came here to do their first surgery in the plane, Kwekwajima Menu, the Honorable Minister for Health at the time, was at the airport. I asked him a question about it. He said, oh, it will be released very soon. Then it was released, 306 or 309 ambulances, and everybody applauded. Of course, I was not applauded, but that's none of my business. Then we saw the ambulances being used to cut cement in Kaswa. Sisters, that video is there. Show me. And then now we are seeing the ambulance being used to cut Amadang and other things. And you ask yourself, so where are the trackers that were installed on the ambulances as we were told? We have had in this country, somebody's wife died after they picked the person from Fiji because we said we didn't have fuel. The person had to pay for fuel before the individual had to be transported. The man's wife died bitterly and painfully in this country. Is there leadership at the ambulance service? Is there proper leadership and supervision at the ambulance service of Ghana? The officers in this video and the ones who use the thing to go and the ambulance to go and cut cement, and those who allowed the man's wife to die, and the many other deaths and complications that we don't know about, it has to be investigated ASAP. This is what your ambulance is being used for. And you call the ambulance people and they tell you that they don't have fuel, but they are using it to cut plantain, maize, and is it detergent or whatever it is. And we all know how sensitive the ambulance is supposed to be. So I'm asking this morning, is there any leadership at the National Ambulance Service? Is there leadership there? Because if there's really leadership at the National Ambulance Service, I'm not sure we will have such things going on there. I am not very sure. Is there leadership at the ambulance service? My